New guys, welcome back to another Mafia stream. We're gonna go ahead and just do a mission or two. Yeah, should be pretty good. So now I can kind of talk about episode 2 of the Park Drive drama. I can kind of talk about it now because you've obviously the big things out there for people to see, and it was a pretty cool episode. So you can see that things definitely changed within the week for Martin. So basically it's just been a typical bad week for Martin in the series, because first of all his sink had broke, and the person who we usually got to do the plumbing didn't do it properly. Basically, was kind of repairing it but wasn't repairing it properly, so it kind of kept breaking. And I tell you what, we'll free roam a bit. So yeah, it was kind of, if you get what I mean, it was kind of like, with his sink breaking, and then there was the plumber not doing it correctly, so he had to get another plumber. Then there was his son Billy, who was kicking the football in the park, who smashed the caravan window, and that obviously, made things a bit worse when they had some gypsy person chasing Billy back to the house, and then demanding to come inside, and sort of like just walking in anyway, and that kind of thing, which wouldn't help onto Billy's life, onto Martin's week rather. And then you also get the big thing. So things start, things I wouldn't say they really necessarily looked up, but things calmed down a bit. He got hold of a better plumber who was coming out to do his sink and all of that, and he was starting to think that things were going to start looking up. He was going to get his sink repaired. He'd heard nothing for quite a few hours from them gypsy people, so he was probably starting to imagine that they'd just given up. And then obviously the big thing happens, where the van goes into the garage, which kind of really sets off the week, because he was just so happy the gypsy people hadn't come back. He'd just got his sink repaired. His sink had just been all fixed, and then there's a bang, and then they go outside, and obviously the garage has been put through, which obviously must have really sort of like took the icing off the cake. It must have really, I guess you could say, wound him up, because he just got his sink done, and then his garage goes through. So now he's got the expenses of trying to repair his garage, bearing in mind the fact that he'd only just got the garage newly fitted the year before. So he'd only had the garage new about a year, and then obviously it ends up having a big plumbing van roll into it. So the story is, at the minute, they don't know whether the plumber's left the handbrake on, or they don't know whether some gyppo person has gone ahead, them gypsy people have gone ahead and basically, drove the van in there themselves. And the story is the gypsy people actually did that. We know that because the gypsy people were talking about it in one of the scenes. So we know that they were planning on doing that as to get payback for the plumber. For now obviously the plumber is probably going to lose his job. His van's been smashed in, so they've kind of like made this plumber lose his job already as part of the payback. And then they've knocked the guy's garage down, which is kind of payback for the kid breaking the window. Their window got broke, so now obviously he is going to knock their garage down, and that's obviously what he did. So it was a really cool episode to do. This series is actually quite fun to do. The only issue with the series is I don't know how long it can go on for. Like, for example, the series can hopefully go on for quite a while, but in terms of, like, say we do, like, I don't know, hundreds of episodes or something like that, the usual general, it's going to be kind of hard. Like, say for example, like, some people die or some people move away. The only thing what's going to be really hard about this series is using the same skin for example, if we use somebody in the Tuxedo Steve skin, say for example, like it's going to be hard to use like a different skin for every single person. Like if we get a few new people, you know, say like some character goes and then another character like comes into it, it's going to be like hard after using so many skins not to use the same skin. That's the only issue. Like it won't be a problem for a while, but after a while, when we've done like 50 or so episodes, because obviously like some people are gonna die, and you know it's gonna be like that kind of thing. Some people will die, maybe someone will move away. It's gonna kind of be hard not to use the same skin. So what I'm gonna do, or what I'm at least would like to do, is hopefully by these episodes we get more skin packs, so we can start bringing some different skins into it, because like I say, a lot of the skins in Minecraft only kind of compare, like for example, like we're not going to use the Star Wars ones and the sort of like, I don't know, like kind of like we're not going to use the skins what don't look like real life people. Like we're not going to use like the three-legged aliens and things like that, and you know, like just the people what don't look realistic. We're only going to use such as like Steve Tuxedo, Steve Alex, people what look like real people what we can like use around city life. So what I think they need to do is, I think they actually need to make a city skin pack instead of a city, as well as a city texture pack, because you know we have a city texture pack. But what they should do is they should make a skin pack for each texture pack. So you've got the default skin pack for the default texture pack, but then if you could have something like the city skin pack, the natural skin pack, the sort of like that type of thing, I think it'd work a little bit better, because you could put so many like realistic skins into Minecraft. Like from the city one, like you could have some like butchers and bakers, and you know you can have like people in suits, you can have girls and boys, people with glasses, that type of thing. Maybe someone with a rucksack on, you know, that type of thing. Could even have like maybe like a bus driver or something. You could do something with the skin pack, which would actually make the whole game a bit more interesting, and it would make the series a lot better, because what I would really like to do is carry on this series for you guys and make it good, come up with different things. Obviously, as we're building the city, the housing area is going to grow, and there's going to be more things built. So for example, when like people like leave the show, in the future we're actually going to be able to film them saying goodbye at the airport, or film them like walking onto a boat or something like that when we get the docks done. You know, I really want to like carry on this series for you, and for example we can build like taxis outside of houses. You know, we can do like so much with this series, but we've got to like make it realistic. Like for example, like we can't like have two people in the same skin, because it's not going to be realistic unless you're using like twin brothers. But even then it's going to be quite hard to tell who's who in the series. So obviously it's going to carry on for a while, but we're just going to see where the series goes. And by the way guys, this series isn't like a scheduled daily episode planning thing. So at the moment it's been coming every single day so far. Like we've done episode 1, and then the day after we did episode 2. That might not always be the case. I'm not like aiming to do it as an actual schedule. Like if I can do it every day, like if we want to keep recording it each day, I will do, but I'm not going to aim to the point where I have to stop doing other things because I need to get one out that day. Like if I miss a day, it doesn't matter. If I miss a few days, it doesn't matter. But if I'm here recording them and we're enjoying recording them at the minute, then I'm going to go ahead and keep recording them at the moment, like every day. But it's not going to be planned to necessarily stay every day. Like if I want to do some other things, or if I can't get online, like I'm not going to like feel as if I have to come online to get one of them episodes up. I can just do it whenever, but if there's time, then I'll do it every day. So, and I actually saw a video yesterday on the internet. Well, actually it was this morning, but it was actually showing that it was actually showing, well, there was one video which was Mafia 1 versus Mafia 3, but then there was Mafia 2 versus Mafia 3, and it was kind of showing how Mafia 2 was better than Mafia 3. And to be honest with you, like, I did play Mafia 2, but I forgot how good it was. Like I forgot like all the things you could do, and it actually is better than Mafia 3. Like don't get me wrong, Mafia 3 is good. If I didn't think it was good, I wouldn't have gone and got it on the release date. But there was actually a lot more stuff. Well, the day after the release date, but I wouldn't have got it so close. Like, if it wasn't that much of a good game, I would have just waited till like when it had been out like nearly a year or gone down in price. But the point is that Mafia 2 is actually better than Mafia 3. Now, I believe that Mafia 3 probably does have better graphics and probably better realistic driving, although I didn't think the driving in Mafia 2 was that so bad.
Better than GTA.
But there was a lot more features in Mafia 2. A lot more features what you could do in Mafia 2. For example, you could open the boot of your car, you could open the bonnet and repair it, you could get fuel, you could repair your cars in an auto repair place, you could like change the colour of it. When you're in your apartment, you could open the windows, open your fridge, sleep in your bed at night, take a drink or a sandwich out of the fridge, that type of thing. It actually shows like, it actually shows that it was a better game in that sense, like, because in this game there isn't really like much you can do in the free mode other than drive around, if that makes sense. You know, drive around, swap cars, enter a few shops. Whereas like Mafia 2, there was like so much more you could do in the free mode, like respraying your cars and things like that. And I don't know why, like...
Can you not do that in Mafia 3?
No, well, not that I know of so far, you can't. You can't really do anything in free mode, apart from drive around.
That's why I don't really do the free mode, I just play the missions.
But the missions in Mafia 3 are absolutely amazing,
so
like, because usually I get a game like this because I enjoy the free mode side of things. Like that's usually like GTA. I'm gonna admit,
GTA Online's better than story mode.
I'm gonna admit to you, right, when GTA come out, right, I did like, I'd say like the first few missions till you got to the free mode, and then for about 2 months I just free moded on GTA, and then I did some of the missions again, and then I got a bit bored, and I've never completed GTA 5, and it's been out how many years now?
What, you've never completed it?
No, like literally the furthest I got is like a little bit of the way into having Trevor, and then when I got Trevor into Los Santos, and when I got to the part where I could like switch to all 3 characters, I just used the free mode, and I've never completed the game since. But plus another reason why I never completed it is because my GTA 5 has broken twice. Well, on my PS3 I got like quite far in, I got like, and I was doing like quite a lot of the missions, then my disc tray broke, so I re-got it on PS4. And I got like really far into the Trevor missions again. I was determined to complete it. My MC Noble account got banned, so on the new account, which is the one I'm on now, I had to start the story mode from the beginning again. So I did a few missions, I free moded a bit, then I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to try and complete this again. And then my GTA stopped working. So as well as me just wanting to free mode, I have actually had a lot of times where my GTA's broke, which has kind of stopped the story mode, if that makes sense. But no, I'm not really. I think the only game I've ever really completed is Mafia 2. And I think I also completed Lego Star Wars on the PS2 one time as well.
I've completed that more times than I've ever.
And I got really close to completing San Andreas. I also almost completed Bully. and I kind of completed Thrillville, but you don't really complete that game. You just like keep growing your theme park. But you know, I unlocked all the little islands. I almost completed Dog's Life. I got really close to the end. But I don't think, apart from Mafia 2, I don't think I've ever actually completed a video game in my life.
Oh my god.
I've been close, but I've never...
I complete every game that I get because I pay a lot of money for games, so I play the whole game through. That makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you
paid a lot
mean.
of money for it.
But like Thrillville and things, you didn't, there was no really completing it. You just unlocked all the islands and then kept making your theme park bigger.
I complete GTA, Minecraft, you can't really complete. I complete FIFA, like I complete career mode and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't really like do loads in the way of, you know. I don't know why, like, because some games, the stories are just so long. In some of them.
Games like Just Cause, I wouldn't dare do that story because it's not a game you get for the story. It's a game for going around and causing destruction in free mode.
I've got Just Cause. Well, I've got Just Cause, but I don't know where it is. That's a good game. It's Just Cause.
Like, isn't it a game where you just cause destruction and like around the villages and stuff?
It can be, yeah.
You wouldn't do the story, but
you can do the story. I mean, the story is like alright, but
I got no trophy, Ash. Mafia.
Ah, fair dues. But I mean, like, I think I am gonna complete this game though, because the Mafia stories have always interested me. That's why I like completed Mafia 2. But
yeah.
You know. But no, I haven't completed many games. Only maybe like a few.
There's a glitch, man. There's a jeep floating in the air. There's going to be a jeep floating in the air. Can I get in it? Yeah.
Oh wow! I wish I could get in there. There's like loads of smart cars. But nah, games. You know, I've only like really. I'd say most of the games I ever did complete were on the PS2.
Oh,
apart from Mafia 2 on the PS3.
Hello.
But I'm pretty sure I completed The Godfather as well.
Hello.
But I had quite a bit of help from my dad with that one. We kind of played it together. And we actually rented it as well. Like, you know, like back when you could rent games from Blockbusters.
Oh, Blockbuster was the thing.
Yeah, like we rented that like back in the day. It could have even been Choices then, but I remember it was like we both like played it together. And I'll never remember the first ever time I ever played San Andreas. It always sticks in my mind because specifically on that day when San Andreas come out, my auntie comes to take me out. So like my dad could go ahead and get the game without me seeing or knowing. And then we come back and he's playing the PS2, and I'm thinking like, I knew it was the release date for San Andreas, and I was thinking like, well hang on a minute, my dad doesn't normally play the PlayStation 2 unless he's doing a couple of races on motorbike games, because that's what he used to do. So I said to him, you know, like, how come you're on the PS2? And he was like, oh, I got myself a new bike game. And I was thinking, I bet you've got San Andreas. And then the Rockstar logo appeared, and I was like, that's not a new bike game. And he was like, it is. Rockstar made it this time. And then the San Andreas thing come up, and then he like, I don't know, I just remember that day for some reason.
No, you're just not allowed to watch it because it was like inappropriate and stuff.
No, he just like, he was tricking me. He was like tricking me that he didn't get me when he did. I played my first GTA when I was 5, and that was GTA 3.
Right.
Well, more or less, when I was old enough to play a console, like a PS2 or whatever, I played Grand Theft Auto. Because, I mean, because my dad knew I just used the free mode on him. But yeah, I've played every Grand Theft Auto apart from the one on the Game Boy. I played Chinatown, I played Lost and Damned, Ballad of Gay Tony, number 4, number 5, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, number 3, Vice City, the ones on the PS1, the GTA 1, the GTA London, the GTA 2. But you know, I don't really.
So you've played every GTA?
Yeah, apart from the one on the Game Boy.
Which one was that?
It was something like GTA Game Boy Advanced. It was like a bird's eye view thing, kind of like the very first ones.
That's what Chinatown was like, right?
Yeah, but Chinatown was a bit more realistic. Like, but I don't really have a favourite video game, I don't think, from back in the day.
Mine's always going to be Lego Star Wars.
I mean, Bully was quite good. I obviously enjoyed San Andreas. There was some good, like, racing games back then. That type of thing, diggity diggada. But
Forza 3.
But I mean, I don't know really. I mean, I really enjoyed The Getaway. That was a good game. I'd have to say, like, that would come close to being my favourite. The Getaway is good.
I've never played it.
It's good. It's basically you play like as a, well, the first game you play as a villain, and then the second game you play as a cop. And the first game, basically these people they basically shoot your wife and kidnap your kid, and you have to do you have to work for this. You have to work for this like London villain to like do these like missions to get your kid back. So like you had to do all these. You have to do all these like missions to get your kid back. And you can't like do anything else. Like, well, you can free mode, but the like, you know, like the base of the game was like doing what this man tells you to, or you don't get your kid back. And it was a well played out story. You had to do like shootouts in pubs and, you know, like buildings set on fire. It wasn't like necessarily the most realistic game. Like it was alright, but it had a good story to it. And the good thing about it is the thing I liked about the game was, if you say like, you know, on like GTA, like when you go to a mission, they put like a radar on your map, and you have to follow the purple line, or you have to follow the line or whatever.
You have to find your own way there?
No, like on the Getaway, instead of having a marker on a map which tells you where to go, you had an indicator on your car. So like if there was a street you needed to turn down, your car would indicate left or right, which I thought was pretty realistic. Because like back in the day when that game come out, sat-navs weren't that big. So like it would just indicate.
Oh wait! I've just remembered my favourite game. Like, I don't even care.
What?
Saints Row 2.
Oh, that was a good game. I played that. But yeah, and then Getaway 2, you basically played as this cop called Mitchell, and you got to do like loads of cop missions.
Mitchell?
but there was a free mode to it, like you didn't just like load up the game and then like just not do a mission and free mode. There was an actual like specific free mode option you could click, and you could free mode like there was the start menu, there was like new game, continue game, then there was like special features, and there was one which was kind of black cab racing where you raced in a taxi. Then there was high speed chase where you did a high speed chase, and then there was a free mode event where you could just kind of free mode around London, and like you'd start off in a cop car, and but you could kind of like get into like any car you wanted. You could go to all different places around the map, and it was pretty cool. Like I still play the Getaway now. I played it the other night actually.
Alright guys, I'll be back online after tea.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
So yeah, Getaway was a pretty interesting game for me, and I enjoyed it. I liked the Getaway. Getaway was good. I'm trying to think like what other games I played, because there was quite a few. I also played this game called Backyard Wrestling.
I think I've played that.
It's called Backyard Wrestling. Please don't try this at home. And you could select from like 4 different maps. One was this like Hilly Billy's garden, and this person's cooking a barbecue, and he's cooking a barbecue, and you and this other guy are just basically wrestling while he's cooking this barbecue. And then there's another one where you're at this gas station, and then there's kind of like a cafe / pub thing with a motorcycle, like a load of motorcycles outside, and if you like throw this guy into the motorcycle, this angry motorcyclist will come outside, and every time you wrestle near him he'd hit you with a baseball bat. It was quite funny. And then you could also like climb onto roofs and explosions and things like that.
Fun, yeah.
It wasn't necessarily realistic, but it was fun.
I can tell.
And then there was like a story mode to it as well, but I can't really remember what that was like. Like I did do it, but like I didn't do it much, because usually we just used to play it 2-player with friends. It was quite a cool game. I'm trying to think.
Is anyone watching you stream yet?
Not in a minute. There was a person before. Well, 3 people actually, but they never commented. Trying to think what other games I played back in the day. Oh yeah, I also played that Let's Get Ready to Rumble Round 2, which was just like a little cartoon boxing game. But I always cherished that game, and I've still got that game now. Like even though I don't play it, I've still got it now. And basically, I'll tell you the story as to why I keep that game, why I've kept it for so long. And basically, my mum and dad used to be like really good friends with this guy, and his mum. And basically, years ago, there used to be this like thing, like it was kind of like a party bus thing. And it was kind of like a double-decker bus, what had been like decked out with a little play area inside, and you could climb up to the upstairs of the bus, and then you could go down the slide to get back down. But I was only little, and I was too scared to go back down the slide. So basically, this person, who we were really friendly with, he basically carried me and lifted me back down when I was too scared to come back down. So I thanked him for that, and he used to come round quite a bit. And basically, not long after that, it was like round near Christmas time, and he gave me that game for Christmas. He was like, here, you can play that game for Christmas. And then the following day, on the Boxing Day, he actually died. So for some reason, like, even though like I was quite young and I don't really remember too much about him, like I remember him but not like loads about him, But for some reason I've always kept that game because I kind of feel like, because he gave me that game and then the day after he died, so
I feel like it's the right thing to
yeah,
do.
I'd feel like disrespectful if I was to get rid of the game because he always seemed nice to me, and like I don't remember how he died, but I've forgotten his name as well. I don't know if it was called Mark or something like that.
Marcus.
And but I remember him. But yeah, that's a pretty cool game. Not the best, but a good like just little boxing kind of styled game. Trying to think of other games I played. I played so many. Oh yeah, Crazy Frog Racer. That was a good game. Crazy Frog Racer and Sonic Heroes. I played that game.
That was the best game ever.
Sonic Heroes. I also played Jackie Chan Adventures and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. That was a good game.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I
Man's a
liked
turtle.
I liked that. That was a sick game. And one of my favourite games on the PS3 was this game called Pain. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
yeah, I have.
But basically, you launch this guy off of a slingshot, and you basically like can go two player, and like say for example like if you launch your guy and he breaks his neck, basically the player two would have to like launch like his guy, but he'd have to try and break his neck. It was quite funny, and basically like the thing I used to find so funny about the game and like doing is there was this like basically like you fling this guy in a city and there was like one street and then there's like another street behind it and there's like an entranceway into like a subway station, and if you just aim it right you can fling this guy and he basically like dives into an old granny holding like them walker things, and they both fall down into the subway. So I always used to aim for the granny and knock her down into the subway, and then if you could go further down into the subway, and if you landed on this right thing you'd shoot back out through the roof, so you could like slingshot your guy, you and this granny go flying down into the subway, then you both just shoot up in the air. And it's quite funny, but you had to score points and there was different maps. It was quite good.
I remember on that there's this one where you have to like kill the right teddy or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the teddy would explode. It was a good
and
game.
it's like hot, cold thing.
Sugar. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other games. Oh yeah, there was Roller Coaster World as well. That was good just for building roller coasters.
I've still got that game on my shelf.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Family Guy video game was good. I remember the last mission on that. Not because
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Not because I completed it, but my friend like almost completed it, and he brought his memory card once, and you had to be Peter, and you got to fight the chicken. It was quite good.
Have you ever played Simpsons Hit and Run?
Yeah, I played that. I also played Sims 2 Pets. That was a good game.
No, Simpsons.
Yeah, I played Simpsons, but I like Sims 2 Pets. I've still got that. I mean, right now I could switch my PS2 on if I wanted to.
So could I.
Like, because I have one available, and, you know, I could go on Sims 2 Pets. I don't have as many games as I used to have, though, because basically when I got my PS4, where the way I used to have my bedroom set out, I didn't really have much space for the PS2, so I kind of like thought, well, what am I gonna use the PS2? So the plan is that I was just gonna keep it packed away, and basically my friend was like someone who I knew from school. He was basically asking if I was selling a PS2, and I was going to sell it to him, and he'd basically just been kicked out of his house, and his nan taking him in. He didn't have a console to play or anything, like. So my nan said, "Oh, why, just give him it, just give him it for free. I mean, he won't have anything much to play." So I gave him it for free with a few games, and from that day on, it was the worst decision I ever did in my life. Like, because I thought, like, once I had a PS4, I would probably never, like, use a PS2 again. But it was surprising how much I actually missed the PS2. And then I'd say a few months to a year later, my friend CJ was getting his PS2 sorted, so I gave him, like, most of my games. Like, literally, we, like, cleared out all of my games to take to his house one time, and we must have easily like put together 80 PS2 games, if not more. There must have been like about 4 huge piles of PS2 games on them, and then besides that there was 2 folders full of just discs from like different PS2 games. Like there was Getaways, there was Grand Theft Autos, there was Stuntman, there was I've forgotten what it's called now, Time Crisis, that was a good game. There was this other one as well that was like an army game. I've forgotten what it was. It wasn't Call of Duty or anything. No, not Medal of Honor. But the picture had like a helicopter on it and a tank, and kind of like a guy in an army hat. Which that was a pretty cool game. There was like The Sims, Busting Out, The Sims 2, The Sims 2 Pets.
You ever played Tony Hawk Underground?
Yeah, there was. I had Tony Hawk Underground. I had both Need for Speed Undergrounds, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Pro Street. Dog's Life, that was a good game. What else did I have? Oh yeah, Backyard Wrestling, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown Just Bring It, SmackDown vs Raw, SmackDown vs Raw, 2006, 7, 8.
2007 was the best. I still got it.
I remember 2007 because I was playing it with my friend once and my character glitched inside the announcing table. It was quite good. Oh man. I also had like F1 and a couple of motorbike racing games.